Well, these next two said reviews between Dynamite and SmackDown are going to be something else, am I right, people? Two returns, and one was just completely just freaking just want to puke to say the least with the Pat McAfee shit. Anyways, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to episode Lucas E. Allen 1018 on YouTube and all audio platforms. The Lucas E. Allen Show, which are AEW Dynamite, April 1st, 2026 review. I know I say it's Monday, April 6th of 2026. And I'm now doing a Dynamite review. And I get to play more reviews that are coming out. Obviously, the SmackDown review, I'm going to do NXT Stand and Deliver review, which is 20 times better than both these shows, honestly, to me. And also, I'm doing Raw, for it's coming to take place in about 28 minutes from now, obviously. So yeah, we're going to stay do those reviews at least, sooner rather than later. As always, so follow me on social media for anything. Follow me on social media, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at Lucas C. Allen. Watching today's podcast on YouTube, hit the like button on today's podcast. Hit the subscribe button if you've done so already. Turn on the bell for your post notifications up on this very YouTube channel. And always, feel free to leave a comment on my episode of AEW Dynamite, April 1st, 2026. Do the same thing, also comment on Spotify. And it's AEW Dynamite, April 1st of 2026 review. And also a 5-star rating, be very nice as well to say, if you're watching on the green platform known as Spotify. You know, it plays music and sometimes podcasts at the same time. You get to play on point, people. So we get started today's show with the AEW Dynamite review. Alright, let's get started. I don't know, my business review will probably be like, hopefully 15 minutes for coverage, honestly. 16 minutes overall, half minutes overall. But starting with the show, opened up with Tony Schiavone in the ring to oversee the contract signing between Kenny Omega and MJF, the reigning defending AEW World Champion. Or AEW World Championship match at Dynasty, AEW Dynasty, will take place Sunday, a week from yesterday. Obviously, they oversee that contract signing. There was some pyro music before Chris Jericho's entrance theme started to play. It was a shock to open up with Dynamite as Judas played. The crowd popped when he appeared on stage to reveal it was really him, and not an April Fool's prank, which, in professional wrestling, it does seem to happen. He soaked in the applause for a bit once his music stopped playing. He said simply, "I'm home." You know, and any people say that, honestly. Any AEW wrestler coming back from a promotion or coming to even sign with the company, go on and quote, "I am home." Which is just kind of boring after a while, you think, right? And that was basically in the segment. This gets a B-. Lucas, you're hyped for a Chris Jericho AEW return? I'm honestly not. Did he look great, honestly? I think he looked great, honestly. He looked fine, honestly. But to say you're like Chris Jericho, guy you saw last year, at this point last year before he went on a break, had to basically not show up again. Obviously, we last time we saw Jericho before, he wanted to go get the fuck off our televisions. Now, just with a year off, we're so glad he's back in AEW. No, it takes more effort than just that. I'm sorry, people. I just don't go by that. Did I want him in WWE? The answer is no either. I didn't want him anywhere in a professional wrestling ring in 2026 again. I didn't. I used to be a big Jericho fan, honestly. But now, I think he's long past his prime. He's also long past his prime. He's also going on 50 years old and stuff, but I'm just not hyped for a Chris Jericho, another AEW run in AEW for Chris Jericho. I'm just not. Might be a hot take. It probably is a hot take to some people. Especially I'm so hyped up to see Chris Jericho back in AEW. I do find it funny, the AEW sickos, were opening his back in open arms. That's really shit on the last year or so. That's just me, honestly. That's just tribalism for you in the IWC. Same thing happens to the WWE Freako fan base too, obviously. But this did nothing for me, man. This promo did nothing. It was cool to see Jericho. I was like, wow, he really is back? Yeah, it's got me a moment of thinking that. Not really a big, a pop. These people in the crowd for Winnipeg, Ontario, Canada, obviously. They were on Dynamite this past week. But I'm just not I'm not a Jericho I'm not a Jericho hater. I'm not gonna say him as a fan though anymore. Like, last time we saw Jericho, before this, we wanted him to go away for good in the learning tree gimmick. We wanted him to go away. But now, since he's obviously back a year later, and he's going to be back at all, now we're just going to give this man a free pass? The answer is no. Not to me, at least. If you do it, then good for you. I don't really give a shit, honestly. It looks great, though. I'll give him that. He just gets to be modest, to say at least. On backstage, Will Ospreay was shown as selling Jon Moxley to reign defend AEW Continental Champion until officials broke it up, and then he went back to the arena for a contract sign with MJF to reign defend AEW World Champion, and Kenny Omega for the match at Dynasty for the AEW World Championship. Both men signed the contract before speaking. MJF started to talk, but Omega told him to shut up. He gave a speech about why he needs to be the one to take the belt from Omega or MJF. MJF then revealed that Omega had a bad diagnosis from his doctor about his diverticulitis, I think is what I call it, to get in his head. He tried to get Omega to hit him, but Mike Bailey showed up and talked him down. This led to Speedball and MJF agreeing for a singles match later in the show. Main event, to be more specific. I gave this a B, not a short and simplistic. It's tied for best grid in the show. I think it's a two-way tie or three-way tie for best grid in the show. I think it's, two-way tie for best grid in the show. Three-way, excuse me. The simple segment, to say at least, it was not bad, not the best, honestly, but then again, it's tied three-way tie for the best grid in the freaking show at a B. So it's not technically bad, but this AEW World Championship picture has been really carrying Dynamite. And it ain't particularly even close. It really ain't. Look, we got the rest of the show. We got more 6-man tags after this, and you got a 6-woman tag later in the show. How Tony Khan special, dude. Tony Khan special. I know, it's freaking boring, I know. But this gets to be a very good segment to say, not very good, just a good segment to say at least here. No, it's not so good shit, and I don't care how good the match was. I don't care for 6-man tagging and flying fuck matches on the show. Kenny Omega, Jack Perry to reign defend AEW National Champion. And Brody King defeated the Man of the Gates of Agony and Ricochet. C+ is your grade. I don't give a shit how good the match is. You know me, I hate trios matches. They make no sense to do on the storyline bullshit here. I can play the same thing in WWE, so don't say, oh, you're just a WWE style. No, I'm by far not even close to that. I'm a stand any company. I'm going to support the wrestlers for sure, obviously. Not very much the companies, honestly. I review their shows time and time again, but still, you get the point. But who the fuck cares about 6-man tag matches on this show? So no, I don't. The sicko fan base probably does, but I certainly don't. I really don't, people. C+ is your grade. Moving on to Will Ospreay. Another thing, it was a 3-way tie for the best grade in the show. Defeats Pac, and after the match, Pac and the Death Riders beat down Ospreay. This gets a B. A very good match. Terrible freaking ending with a roll-up. I hate fucking roll-ups too, dude. I just hate them. They're the most non-creative way to lose a freaking match. Is that stupid roll? I don't care how you do it. What we see is time and time again with any company. WWE, AEW, NXT. You name it. New Japan Pro Wrestling. I am sick of the roll-ups. I wish they would just go away. If you're gonna use them, use them properly. Every once in a while, he really caught this people off guard. Hey, Ospreay didn't really catch him off guard either. He really didn't. Just made Pac look stupid, honestly. Still a good match, though. Good match. I like this developing the storyline with Pac, Ospreay, excuse me. Going through his neck pain as his way to the Continental Championship. Right, if you can do this too for the World Championship, the AEW World Championship. But obviously, MJF is occupied with Kenny Omega right now, to say at least. I don't see Ospreay even challenging for his championship to a minimum all in this year. On August, to say at least. You think he'll definitely beat MJF, but it remains to be seen, to say at least. But this was not a bad match, to say at least. Gave it a B. Tie for the best grade in the show for a 3-way tie. And after the match, you got John Moxley probably basically implying the Death Riders. Said in that quote, but not the end of that quote, but definitely says something like basically like this, where he was going to stomp on Ospreay's neck, his bad neck, obviously, as be surgically repaired. And technically, storyline wise, like Ospreay got taken out by the Death Riders at Forbidden Door 2025. So basically, like, Ospreay was going to get his ass beat by Moxley and the Death Riders until Moxley pulled back to everybody and basically said, don't attack him. Let him be 100% before we get into for Dynasty. And the Death Riders looks kind of shocked at that. So maybe like you made a turn at Dynasty, maybe. And that's when the Death Riders finally kick out John Moxley. I'm not totally sure though, to say at least. God knows at that rate, in all honesty. But this gets a B and not a bad match. You know, I hate the freaking roll-up, so you know that. Moving on to the worst thing on the show, the Brawling Birds. I love Jamie Hayter to death. Love me some Jamie Hayter. Alex Windsor and Mina Shirakawa defeated Triangle Madness, Tekla, the reigning defending AEW Women's World Champion, Julia Hart and Sky Blue. A big fat C. I don't know, man. This is another six woman tag in this scenario. And it's not even a good match, dude. What was good about it? Like, the women are going slow and just not the best, like, wrestling-wise here. Like, I can see a lot better, honestly. Granted, we don't need 6 women in one freaking match. It just seems anticlimactic to me. But whatever, I guess. So maybe I'll play devil's advocate in the meantime. But I mean, if you only give me a good match, whatever, fine. This wasn't even that good. It's a big fat C. I mean, man, we could be grateful got a big fat C out of this. Like, nothing is discreet. And then again, Jamie Hayter, I guess, is challenging Tekla for AEW Women's World Championship at Dynasty. So on Collision for a following day. I don't know, is that where we see the glorious CEO Mercedes Moné, who's obviously beltless, minus the own heart belt, obviously, but still. We'll see her at Winnipeg. But honestly, I don't think they should tease that yet. Her going to challenge in Taco. Because you saw that pay-per-view right before All In, that being Double or Nothing, where he's entered a Hole in the Heart Cup at Double or Nothing. We didn't find out then to say at least. Who knows? Maybe Mercedes has his own segment on that show. We didn't find out then to say at least, obviously. But this gets a big fat C. Nothing major to this at all, dude. Absolutely nothing major to this what so freaking ever. A big fat C. Moving on to already your main event. Or 13, about like 14 minutes on this podcast, and only one more match to discuss. MJF, the reigning defending AEW Women's World Champion, defeats People Mike Bailey in the main event in AEW World Championship Eliminator match. Like the match, give it a B. Sick of freaking Eliminator matches. Like, dude, what? No one on God Green Earth thought people had a chance to beat MJF here. So why give him an Eliminator match? It just makes no sense. Like, it's basically just championship contenders matches that Vince McMahon had, and like his last few things, like his last year in WWE, honestly. Like, I hate those types. It's just the laziest freaking way to become up a number 1 contenders for any championship in general. By being the champion in contenders match, or eliminator match in this case. It's just stupid. Like, you yell in the arena at any given time. But it's not going to make a lick of a difference. But still, man. Like, I'm just tired of eliminator matches. You know me, people. Just give me one champion, one challenger, maybe a couple challengers. But he wants is like 2, like maybe a triple threat match or even a fatal 4-way. At maximum. Without including like a elimination chamber, a winner royal, obviously. But you get the point, honestly. Like, if you had all those people in the ring at the same time, I have to have at least one storyline of all. At least some of the implications of our bigger stuff. This did not. Now it's just a one-on-one match, nonetheless. I hate championship contenders matches. I hate eliminator matches. I hate them all, obviously. It's just lazy freaking booking, if you ask me. Still a fine match, though, for a main event. Give us a B. Nothing else major. And that's basically your show, honestly, people. Like, nothing on this Dynamite show outside Jericho, which I didn't even like it, honestly. outside Jericho, like, did it, like, really make any shock factory stuff, great stuff on the show? The answer is no. The answer is no, to say the least. And that is your AEW Dynamite April 1st, 2026 review on this very podcast, to say the least. Thank y'all for watching your AE Lucas C. Allen 1080 on YouTube and all audio platforms. Lucas C. Allen Show with your AEW Dynamite April 1st, 2026 review on this very podcast, to say the least. Hopefully, knock on wood, very loud ass knock there, obviously. Tomorrow I have much more content coming to YouTube and Spotify, to say the least, on Lucas C. Allen Show and Lucas C. Allen 1018 on YouTube. But probably like you look maybe some Lucas C. Allen production podcasts or sports podcasts, maybe like Lucas Limits, honestly, for pop culture stuff. But I don't know, honestly, you could really find them, to say the least. But until next time, I trust you definitely be next time, everybody. Peace and love, I am out to you. Love you all big time, to say the least.